I yield back.
Thank you very much, Senator Kaine. Senator Booker.
Thank you very much, Chairman. And again, I'm grateful for this extraordinary panel. I just want to ask real quick, Sean, and forgive me for using your first name, Mr. Maloney, Honorable Mr. Maloney. OECD countries account for 95% of development assistance. And my concern is just seeing this trend of countries not stepping up in a time that the demand for development assistance is obviously significantly higher. How can you use your role to help sort of galvanize that aspect of the OECD countries?
Well, thank you, Senator, and you can use my first name anytime.
I appreciate that, man.
You'll have to tell me later how somebody gets an introduction from you because except for this honor, I can't imagine anything better. Look, you're so right. I mean, I do think there's much to be commended in the response to the Russian invasion of Ukraine, in the response of organizations like the OECD, the role they're playing in potential development assistance and reconstruction. And the fact is that more broadly, these are the world's richest countries, after all. These are the countries that have the most at stake in a stable, prosperous global economy. And development assistance, similar to Senator Kaine's question about anti-bribery efforts, ultimately, this is in our interest to have better markets, better partners, in the family of countries that are not yet in the OECD or that would, through their development, be at that level. And so I do think the coordination, the research, the best practices, the standards that the OECD excels at really have a key role to play here in just allowing decision makers like yourself to know what's going on and to make sure that everybody's doing their part. And again, built around the concept that ultimately this is in our own self-interest.
Fantastic. And I will note for the record that you sincerely married up with the gentleman behind you. Jeff, I just have that same concern. I mean, the scale of this crisis is unbelievable. I've been to Burkina Faso with Senator Coons. The scale of this, the food insecurity there is stunning, millions in crisis. But the challenge right now is we have a supplemental being discussed and debated here, and other countries' commitments are going down as well. I just met with some European leaders talking about just this. It just seems that we are at a pivotal point in human history with the scale of the crisis, but the diminishing amount of commitment of more developed nations.
Thank you, Senator, for that, and thank you to you and to Senator Coons for your longstanding leadership on these issues. It's extremely important that we step up. But we also have to get other countries to step up with us, and that's just absolutely critical. The short answer is on the supplemental. If Congress doesn't provide these funds, it's going to be very unlikely that we get other nations to step up with us. More around the world will go hungry, more will migrate, peace will be undermined, and the world will be less secure. Food security is national security, and these investments invest our interest as well as the interests of people around the world, as well as our values. And I hope that we can see this body come together to ensure that the United States continues to play the global role that we have played, the leadership role in humanitarian issues, on food security issues, and on agriculture issues. And if confirmed, I would want to use the diplomatic platform that this position provides, to be a champion for those issues and work very closely with you in doing so.
And Jeff, I'm going to put both of these out there and then be done because I'm afraid of the chairman. Schatz runs a rough committee. So really quick, first is that link between national security is really important for us to continue to state. I hear it from a lot of leaders involved in this, how failing to invest in food security now can cause political instability, lead to more fertile ground for terrorism and more. If you could address that link. And then secondly, I've been stunned at how immediate food security is necessary, but the strategy that doesn't get enough funding, I think, from the United States and other countries is developing resiliency and the capacity to prevent future food insecurity, which proportionately, in terms of the payoff of that kind of investment, seems extraordinarily low to me when I drill down on the numbers.
Senator, thank you for both of those points. I agree with you on the second point. We need to increase our investments in resilience, in long-term development. Actually, the connection between development dollars and humanitarian dollars. We need to find a way to make sure that we're not just responding to the crisis, but we're investing in early warning systems and other efforts to prevent future crises from happening. We have to step up. I think one of the advantages, if confirmed, I would bring to this job is a background and experience on hard national security issues and can help make that link that you pointed out, which I completely agree with, as clear as possible and help leverage our diplomacy to advance it around the world.
Thank you. Chairman Schatz, I'm sorry very much for going over, sir.
Senator Coons.
Thank you,